Hey folks, John Bernakevitch here with All Points Design. That's allpointsdesign.ca. And today we're taking a look at the Oregon State University Permaculture template, specifically in this situation for the Permaculture Design course. Now we're on the design site and we're on the slide where we're taking a look at pulling a larger image about what we're looking at from the area. So we've already gone through and we've already had the world, and we've come down to North America and into Canada and into Alberta and into the city, and then all the way down to this area. This next slide is really giving us a sense of what's around this spot. So we're going to go back over to Google Earth Pro, and we're going to take a look at a couple of different elements here in Google Earth Pro. So I usually have my layers turned off and at the bottom, so I've got space for my places. But in this situation, we're going to want to turn on the layers by just clicking on this little triangle. And we've got a lot of information here. We've got a lot of road information, which I don't necessarily need, but I did want the places, the borders and labels. So once I turn that on, I get a sense of the area around me. Now, because I'm also going to do a print of this with the north arrow and with the scale bar, I'm going to move this over as far as I can to the right-hand side. And again, the quick command for this is Command P, but you can always go up to the print icon and also File, Print. So I've kind of got what I want here, but I could punch in a little bit more. So I'm going to X that, come in a little bit closer, a little bit further away. And if you're having problems with this, you can always use this little scale bar over here. And then I'm kind of liking this. I'm going to try again. I like how that looks. I've cut off Langdon though, so I'm going to come back out. I'm going to move over a bit more, try again. And that's good enough because I'm going to be picking up Cochrane, Airdrie, Chestermere, Okotoks as the places around. And sometimes my finger slips on the scroll button, but that's pretty good. And I've already turned off my map options, turned off the title and turned off the legend. I like what the scale looks like. The scaling looks good. So I'm going to take my screen capture now. Just going to make sure I get all of this plus the legend. Great. I'm going to go back over. I'm going to pull that in. Of course, your situation will be different. Oh, I went into the cropping of the image. If you ever need to crop an image, you can just double click it and you'll end up with these bars, and those bars can actually pull up an image. And if I click off, I'll have lost the bottom. Again, Command Z or Edit Undo will allow me to undo anything that I've done. So I'm going to bring this over here. I want to put this to the back, so Order Send to Back. And then I want to make this as big as I can to fill up the space. Great. And again, I want to set it to the back. Order. Send to back. Okay, cool. And I just want to make sure that all of these are up front. So Order, Bring to Front. Great. Now, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the prompt at the bottom that tells me that if I need another slide, only because right now I'm needing that space. So I'm just going to highlight those two, delete that, and then do some sizing. Okay, generally pretty good. And then I'm going to come in, and on the right-hand side, I've got these little call-out lines. So I'm just going to make sure that those lines are a little bit more accurate. Got a little OCD in me that needs to come out. It's the German in me. Okay, great. And then our map title, which I'll put in later, goes at the bottom. Awesome. So because we've got some areas on this side, what I might do is I might take this one and I might move it over here. And while we've got two lines there, I think I can get away with one. So I'm just gonna take this, just this though. Okay. So again, if I ever grab something I don't need, I'll just hold Shift and click the other one, and then I can move this over. And I'm going to put in a line, and I like the curved connector, so I can go like this, and I can flip this around if I want, and then bring this up to Cochrane, which incidentally enough was where I went to high school. And I'm just going to put in here Cochrane AB. And it's roughly how far from my site. Let's go back here, click this, click on my ruler, and I'm going to click on Cochrane and go to my site. And it's roughly 28 kilometers. So we're going to use the tilde, approximately 28 kilometers from site. And the population of Cochrane is population of Cochrane, Alberta, 29,000, approximately 29,000. So back over to my report. Population approximately 29, or I could just do the exact, just 29, 2270, 29, 22, 7 or 70? 7. There we go. Cool. And then I will highlight this, turn off that, and get rid of the ETC. Awesome. Now, I'm not crazy about the line here only because I can't really see it. So I'm going to turn that line to yellow, and I might increase its weight by a point or two. And I might give it a little arrowhead on the right hand. Great. And the yellow doesn't contrast really well on the white, so I might try a blue. Ah, that looks pretty good. And I might change this a little bit just because I want to have it a bit more specific. Oh, there we go. Maybe like so. Great. And I'm going to do that for all of the other areas. I'm going to do it for Chestermere, Airdrie, and probably Okotoks. There you go, folks. That's this slide. Looking forward to seeing the next one.